Thank you, Promotion Aptitude Test candidate. You're most welcome tonight once again. Today, we'd like to start very early so that we can close very early. And it is another beautiful time to have you and share something with you tonight. Very important information once again that will help us in our promotion aptitude test. Wherever you are watching me from, you are most welcome. Today we have changed the setting or we have changed the background. Right, let's dive into it. If you are first timer, don't forget to leave your comments behind any challenge that you have. Drop it in the comment section and let us meet again and discuss them. Or you can send it through my personal line that you usually know. If you go to the other videos, you see my personal line and send your issues and let's discuss. Now let's dive into tonight's tutorial. Tonight's tutorial is also very important and very dear to our promotion aptitude test, and that is why it is very important that we look at it before we go and write aptitude test. Let's jump into it and set the ball rolling. Which of these leadership styles is most ideal in a school where the head teacher wants to inspire his or her staff or students? So this kind of leadership style is called a charismatic leadership style. So charismatic leadership style, they inspire, they motivate, they also serve as a self-attraction to others due to their charismatic nature to help them push their um, push their staff or children to improve upon the learning situation. So charismatic leadership style inspired or motivate the staff and others or students. Now, which of these leadership style is most ideal in schools where the head wants teachers to meet job requirement by handing reward and punishment? So this leadership style is called transactional leadership style. So transactional leadership style is the one that required leaders to push their subordinates, push their staff to the job tasks, and at the same time, when they do not do well, they are being punished. That is transactional leadership style that we need to know. Then good leadership ensures the following in a school, except so in good leadership, these are some of the things that they do by mobilizing resources. That is one of the things that they do, initiating necessary changes and dealing with human resource issues. And what or they don't do is stifling staff development or staff encouragement. No, they don't do that. So a good leadership ensures that there are resources available. He uses um, new ideas to push their staff forward to increase their productivity. And they also deal with behavioral issues in their setting. So that is what you need to know. Then the following are examples of physical resources. Physical resources. What are physical resources in the school? So we have physical resources and non-consumable in the school. They are not consumable. They are physical resources, but they are not consumable. So teaching and learning materials are physical resources, but they are consumable, can be destroyed at any point in time or can be used at any point in time. Then office furnitures and fittings are also example of consumable. Then uh, mobile vehicle is also a consumable. So the one that is not consumable is the land in which the school is sited on or is put on, and the buildings. These are non-consumable. You cannot consume. It can be there for years. It can be there for years. That is what physical resources that are non-consumable. That are non-consumable. Non-consumable here means that they cannot be destroyed at any point in time or within a shortest possible time. It takes time before it is being destroyed. So land and building, land, the land in which the school is on, and the building, they are non-consumable physical resources in the school. Now, which of the following is not a good way of managing instructional hours uh, in our schools? It's not a good way of managing instructional hours. So, opening and closing the dates of each term is very important in managing um, instructional hours. Then, instructional timetable is also very important, or academic timetable is also very important. So the one that consume a lot of things or a lot of time in the school is prolonged sports competition um, requests. So continue to do sports and those activities, sometimes prolonged one, very long one, or engaging in a devastating long hours of sporting activities. And this one can consume the can consume the instructional hours that we need to deal with. Now, which of the following is um, a time wasting activity? Time wasting activity. Necessary prolonged staff meeting is one of the unnecessary um, time wasting activity. So unnecessary prolonged staff sit in hours of staff meeting. Then the use of mobile phone or telephone during instructional hours as then drop in or unscheduled visits. So while you need to teach, you decided make a place unnecessarily. These are things that help the instructional hours that we need to know. Then formalities, too much formalities can also cause time wasting in the school. So all of them are ways in which instructional time could be wasted. Yes, so have it in mind. In a Ghanaian public schools, um, personnel emolument, administrative activities, and service activities are paid from which account? It is paid from Government of Ghana fund, the consolidation fund. That's where a monument of um, the staff of GS and members of GS are paid for. So personnel from GS, they are paid from the Government of Ghana funds. So have it in mind. They are not paid from internally generated fund. How much is generated internally to able to pay teachers? No. Then it is not paid from endowment fund. That is no. It is not also paid from donor or development partners fund. No, these are not the ways that teachers are paid from or workers of Ghana Education Service are paid from. Now, which of these activities is a form of abuse against children? Which of which of these activities are form of abuse against children? There are a number of things that we do that are abusive to children, and we need to know that the compulsory marriage is one of them. Compulsory marriage is one of them. Corporal punishment is another way of abusing children. Defilement and rape is also another way of abusing children. And non-maintenance of children. Non-maintenance, you don't maintain them, you don't take care of them. That is the non-maintenance of children. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, leave yes in the comment section. Today we don't need to waste time at all. Then the objectives of girl child education policy include all of the following. All of the following include girl child education policy includes all of the following except. Now let's look at what girl child education objectives are. One of the objectives of girl child education in Ghana is that girls in school should be helped to stay in school and complete the education um, in their lifetime in the school. Then all girls of school going age should be sent to school. That is the objective of girl child education. And girl child education was part of the FQ 1995. So have it in mind. Girl child education. Then um, pregnant pregnant school girls should be able to go back to school after delivery. That is one of the objective of girl child education. So what they don't do is that girl child um, girl, girls should not be given protocol admissions and free learning material. That is not the aim of girl child education. So have it in mind. If you're here tonight, you're most welcome. Then avenues for teachers to get professional development. Avenues for teachers to get professional development are one, steady leave with pay or without pay. That is another means that teachers can um, go for further studies or can help them improve, or develop professionally. So steady leave. Then we also have distance education. Distance education is also one. Then in-service training or PLC discussions can help you develop professionally. Then challenges that education authority face in supporting children with disability include the following. What are some of the challenges that heads or school heads face when dealing with um, disability children? Now, one of them is lack of statistics regarding the children with disability. That is one of the challenges that they have. Another one is limited capacity for early detection and treatment. So, for you to be able to help someone with um, disability issues, you need to identify it first and help the person. So if there is a limited capacity for you to um, identify and treat these issues, that is a key thing that we need to address as Ghana. Then um, another thing that is also much of importance is inaccessibility of building and transportation. Sometimes the school buildings that are put up the previous years, they didn't consider disabled people, and sometimes it is very difficult for them to use those facilities, and even getting transport to these schools or nearby schools is also a problem. So these are issues that authority face in dealing with disabled children or children with disability. Then another thing is the absence of policy aimed at inclusion and integration. And now This policy is more or less like inclusive education is more or less like addressing these issues, but um, it is not so much effective. So we pray that government of Ghana will do better. Then an action-oriented school head, an action-oriented school head is always proactive. He always presume that these things will happen. So he always prepare his mind towards on, um, unpredictability or uncertainty, so that situations of that sort you're able to solve them. You're most welcome. Come so action-oriented school heads uh, is very proactive to the needs of the school. To the needs of the school, they are very much of proactive to dealing with those issues. Then a school head's responsibilities in relation to the curriculum include the following. What are the responsibility of a school head concerning the curriculum? One of the things that the school head need to do is vetting teachers' scheme of work and lesson notes, vetting teachers' scheme of work and the lesson note. That is the curriculum responsibility of a head. Then ensuring effective use of instructional or contact hours. That is another thing that heads need to do as their responsibility in relation to the curriculum. Then conducting school-based in-service training or conducting PLC activities to help their teachers. These are some of the things that they need to also do, and it is much of importance. What they don't do is chairing PTA meeting. The PTA meeting is um, chaired by the PTA chairman. Most of them are always parents. Parents, they are um, elected or nominated to be the chair of PTA and chairs the meeting of PTA. The school head does not chair PTA meetings, so have it in mind. Then, in relation to administrative functions, the school improvement support officer does the following. In relation to the in relation to administrative function, the school improvement support officer, that is CISO, does the following. One of the things that they do is maintain school records through the heads. Maintain school records through the heads. Then foster a link between he the school and the office. So he is the liaison officer between the school and education office. He also explained the educational policies and programs to the circuit teachers that in which he controls or he supervises over them. That's what he does, and he doesn't sanction staff. What um, the sanctions is by the heads. The sanctions are the responsibility of the heads. Now, acknowledge and rewarding achievement of staff and students during a speech and prize giving day is one of the ways a school head can use to motivate his staff. So if you want to motivate your staff, you can use speech and prize giving day. You want to motivate your children, you can use speech and prize giving day to motivate your children. That is some of the things that you need to do. So motivate staff and student the using the speech and prize giving day is one of the ways that you can use to motivate staff. A school administrator stresses out on the job can undertake the following activities to get a relief. To get a relief. So if you are stressed on the job, you are stressed on your activities, These are some of the things that you can use to release all this stress. One, set goals and routines. So if you set goals and routines, if you set a plan, or you make a plan and able to follow it as it is, it will help you devoid all pressures and all stresses that you may face. So in to-do list, assuming your plan today that I'll do A, B, C, D, and you go through that, then it also releases pressure. And another thing that you can also do to release pressure is decide and act on priority. What are your priority areas? What do you are the things that you need to prioritize? Now the routines The routines a school can undertake in solving problem include the following. What are some of the things that a school can use to solve problems that they face or they come across? One of the things, or the first thing, is identifying the problems identified possible solutions that will help. These are the things that we can do to solve a problem. Then examine the pro and the cons of the solutions that you have identified, so that it will help you sorry, my network was misbehaving. So working smart as a school leader entails employing the following techniques. So if you are a smart leader, these are the things that you need to employ in your school to make your work easier. Scheduling realistic targets and break when break when working. Setting a realistic target. So if you want to be a smart leader, you need to employ this: scheduling realistic targets and break when working. When you want to do um, the work well, you need to do this. You need to schedule, or you need to put up realistic target that will help you achieve this. Then the second one is completing assignment and tasks before the deadline. Don't procrastinate. Most of the heads, oh, we'll do it when the office is asking for data or asking for information, and they have given a timeline. You see some heads procrastinating. Oh, the last day I'll do it. I work best under pressure. By the time he realizes or she realizes, the time is past. So um you know not to procrastinate. You have to work in within the time frame. Then beginning and ending each day with a set of activities can help you as a teacher. If this is your first time of coming across me, don't forget to give a thumbs up of this video. It's very important. And if you're a first timer, click on the subscribe button and subscribe. You're most welcome. Then, which of the following is not a characteristic of a head teacher who is transparent and has an integrity? There are things that, as a head who is having integrity, or who wants to protect his integrity and protect his dignity, these are some of the things that they do not do. Say, which of the following is not a characteristic of a head teacher who is transparent and has integrity? Which of the following is not trans? Says that which of the following is not a characteristic of a school head or a head teacher who is transparent and integrity. So let me look at some of the things that boils down on transparent and integrity. So making his administrative activities known to the stakeholders or the staff. So if you are a head, you need to make everything known. If you want to be transparent and have integrity, let your people know whatever you are doing. Don't hide anything from them, and they will trust you till you leave the school. Then inquiring from the staff and the student how he or she is performing. So sometimes you also need to let your staff examine you, or ask your staff, oh, which place is not going well, or what am I doing? Um, what How do we do things in a way that will improve? That is what you need to do, to tell your staff. Those are the things that you need to espouse to them, or you need to expose it to them. Then discussion of an important issues with your staff, students, and parents is also another good way to put you in a very transparent and integrity level as a head. So what does not make or does not meet the criteria of transparency and integrity is keeping details of your school transactions from the staff. That one, your staff members will never ever trust you. They will never ever believe in you if you keep these things away from them. So all the time, you need to let them know what is going on so that they will willingly help you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Then the most ideal leadership style for a school where teachers are recalcitrant to lay down rules and regulations is what? Sometimes, as a leader, you need to employ um, almost all the leadership styles. So, in a situation where you have um, teachers who are recalcitrant, you can use an autocratic, authoritarian leadership style, but not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes you need to use a very democratic means of solving the problem. So here, um, the correct answer or the correct leadership style here to use is autocratic leadership. Sometimes you need to be tough. You need to exhibit your power to um, to bring them on board. If you are not able to reprimand them, then it will get to a point you are being overlooked by your staff. Now, a child abuse at a school include the following: child abuse in school. Um, in school, one, using peoples to carry out water, stones, and sand during instructional hours is an abuse of children educational rights. Children educational right, using them to um, work in farm, work in um, situation that inures you, the teacher, the benefit without the benefit of the children. That one is an abuse of child educational right. Then two, using children to carry and sell firewood to make money for the school is also not good. So there are some schools in Ghana here. They will engage the children in profitable gaining for the school. These things are not accepted by Ghana Education Service, and it's against the code of conduct that we need not to exercise those things. It's very bad. Then sending girls to buy food for teachers market um, during instructional hours. During instructional hours, so sending girls to buy food for teachers during instructional hours is also child abuse. So when the children are learning, don't send them to go and buy food. That is against the law, and you need not to do that. Then the question says, child abuse at a school include the following, except um, children. weeding school compound during break time. This is not child abuse. They are learning how to keep their environment clean. If they are weeding the school compound during break time, it is not an abuse. They are learning to keep their environment clean during break time. So have it in mind. Now, the curricular dimension of an instructional supervision include all the following. The curricular dimension of instructional supervision include the following. One, selecting the material and allocating the resources. Selecting the material and allocating the resources is one of the curricular dimension of instructional supervision. Then we also have developing the curriculum programs and changes is also another curriculum dimension. Then assisting regular and staff in upgrading their curriculum capabilities or knowledge. It's also um, a curricular dimension of instructional supervision. Instructional supervision. So the one that is not included is a long-term planning for the use of capitation grant. No, this one is not part. This one no. So we have spent 30 minutes. I said we will not keep long. We are trying to do our best so that we can get something. Then curricular changes that requires legislative fiat is described as what? Is described as curriculum what? So curriculum change that requires legislative instrument. Here the fiat here, legislative instrument, an act is described as curriculum or curriculum reforms. It is described as curriculum reform. So when you meet it again, don't forget to give this. Don't forget to get this wrong. Then a learner requires from his so a learner inquires from his teacher about the rationale for undertaking several tests and assignment within a term. His teacher explains that this enables him and the school to obtain feedback to modify instructional strategies for improvement, for improved performance. The general name for such assessment is called what? This assessment is called formative assessment. Formative assessment is a situation where um, an assignment is done or assessment is done while the learning is ongoing and give a feedback about the performance and the improvement of um, the child learning or the progress of the child learning. So formative assessment, curriculum delivery most suitable for technical and vocational, technical and vocational. That is TVET. So TVET, the best suitable technology TVET is competent base competence. You need to develop their competency. So have it in mind. Now, which of the following is not a core curricular competencies? Core curricular competencies. We look at essential competencies. So we have critical thinking and problem solving as one. We also have creativity and innovation. We also have communication and collaboration. Also have um, cultural identity and global citizenship. Then we also have personal development and leadership, and the last one, digital literacy. So which one is not part? Um, the one that is not part here is entrepreneurship and self-employment. They are not part of the six competencies that um, we we have learned the last time. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, academics support service like extra tuition are often provided to students after um, afterward. Is it midterm examination, engagement with parents, end of term examination? What time do we do this? The time that we do it is curriculum review, curriculum review, curriculum review. Um, Please, network is not helping us. Yeah, we don't know what MTN is trying to tell us. So, but let's still try. It shall be well. So, academic support service like extra tuition are often provided to students after you have made a curriculum review, after you have seen that there is a challenge, there is a lack, the learners are lacking. But before you do that, you need to do a review. If you do a review, you get a feedback, then you support that one. Now, the most likely form of assessment used to determine whether individual student is meeting curriculum standard is called what? It is called criterion reference test. Criterion reference test. So the one that is um, assessing against the normative group is called a non-reference test. But the one that measures against the curriculum standard or the predetermined standard is called criterion reference test. As part of the teaching and learning process, which of the following is used to evaluate, measure, and document the learning outcome of our learners? The learning outcome of our learners. The one we use to um, to evaluate, measure, and document the learning outcome of our learners is called assessment. Assessment is what we use to do this, use to evaluate, at the same time measure, at the same time document the learning outcomes in our various schools. So have it in mind when you go and do justice to it. Tonight is another beautiful moment. Now, in education, standardized tests used for the purpose of accountability is often referred to as what? As to what? Mhm. I'm saying in education, standardized tests used for the purpose of accountability is often referred to as what? So standardized tests, the standardized tests that we have been offering to um, the B4, B6, and B2, they are what type of assessment? They are what type of assessment? They are what type of assessment? Is it predictive, high stake, or formative or summative? They are also called summative. They are summative assessment. It is done at the end of the year to ascertain the strengths and the weaknesses concerning the curriculum and teaching and learning. So have it in mind. As a class 4 teacher, as a class 4 teacher conducts an assessment, the outcome indicates that the assessment was able to measure accurately the student's learning, which term in assessment represent this accurate accurate information. It says that a class 4 teacher conducts an assessment. The outcome indicates that the assessment was able to measure accurately the student's learning. Which term is used for this? Is it reliability? Is it validity? Fair or bias? What type? What term is used for this one? This term is called reliability. The result is reliability. It has given you a positive result. It has able to accurately measure what you are intended to measure. So this is reliability. Now, diagnostic assessment is used to is it promote students, place students in ability group, or determine students' academic performance, provide directions and remediation. Uh-huh. Which of them does this? So diagnostic assessment, it gives you direction, what to do. It gives you the insight of the learner's strengths and the learner's weakness, and help you to direct your teaching, and help you to also provide remediation, right? So it provides direction at the same time, remediation. So have it in mind. Eh, I may be ending in a very shortest possible time. So in a school, you notice a teacher training you are mentoring is compiling his assessment, writing samples, and afterwards for assessment by his college tutors. What type of assessment is this? Carefully listen to this question. In your school, you notice a teacher trainee you are mentoring is compiling his assessment, writing samples, and afterwards for assessment by his college tutors. What type of assessment is this? Is it project, portfolios, performance, or um, diagnostic? This type of assessment is called um, portfolio. Portfolio. Portfolio is another informal assessment, another type of informal assessment. So have it in mind. Somebody want to uh, accurately measure what it is supposed to measure. Please, it is not. Um, it is. Please, is it not validity? Yes, I said it is validity. I said it is validity. The the intended purpose. The intended purpose. What is supposed to measure. That is intended purpose. I'm confused. I'm confused. Someone should help me. That is validity. Please. Who is that? Uh, uh, hey, I cannot mention your name. What name is that? Is it validity? Validity. So the intended, what is intended to measure, that is validity. So have it in mind. Then this one, I said it is portfolio. So portfolio is a situation where you gather learners' homework, learners' exercises, and put it in a sack and box, then use it to assess the learner. So that's portfolio. Then main which of the following is the main function of Ghana Education Service? Which of the following main function of Ghana Education Service has been transferred to the Ghana Teaching Council? You see, the question can be framed in so many ways. So the registering of teachers and updating the register is now one of the formerly it was the function of GS. Now it has been released to, or it has been taken by NTC, that is National Teaching Council. So have it in mind. Now let's look at this. Now, which of the following is not a direct function of the Ministry of Education? So you see the questions. You can see that same questions being reframed in so many, in a way, in the deputy director, or director two, or uh, I'm saying director two, assistant director two, or assistant director one. So have it in mind. If this is your first time of coming, you're most welcome to this platform. um I'm most grateful for you coming. So let's look at this one now. What question was that? So registering teachers and updating the register is now in the hands of the NTC. So have it in mind. So which of the following is not a direct function of the Ministry of Education? Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education, they support um, quality, quality education. Then they also set standard for teachers, formulation of educational policies. So the one that is not in direct in relation of their work is develop a dialogue series with others. They don't, other nations. No, that's not what they do. Then let's take the last question. Then we drop the curtains down. Then we go. Tomorrow we'll come back to then to provide independent the quality and standard in basic and second cycle educational institution. And this function is the function inspectorate authority. These are the they perform. So let's end here. Come back tomorrow, and we shall continue with it. There are some key questions that we need to touch them before the final day. Have a good night, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you have anything to support us, we are much grateful. We'll be much grateful. So you can support us through this number 024 work. The days are drawing nearer and nearer and nearer. I'm most grateful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a good night, and we shall meet tomorrow. Bye bye.